Hello, everyone. My name is Amelia Thompson, and I am one of the educators here at Hoxa Loft. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's video, which is all about why it is so important to use foster parents for orphaned raptor chicks. What is imprinting? Imprinting is a form of learning in which an animal gains its sense of species identification. It's a critical period of development when the bird visually imprints on their parents. So think of a duckling who, shortly after hatching, begins to follow its mom around and learns how to be a duck from her. It's crucial for the survival of the bird to imprint on its parents. This is crucial for both immediate and long-term survival. They may learn to recognize each other, find mates, and learn fear of dangerous situations and how to react to those situations. It may also be important for them to learn how to migrate depending on the species. Pictured here is Beauty, an education turkey vulture for Hoxa Loft, and she is a human imprint. We'll be telling her story alongside with the story of another human imprint on our next slide. So what happens if a raptor imprints on a human? One of the issues is that they have no natural fear of humans that a normal bird would develop. They may seek them out or even attack them. This can cause problems for the bird as they may get injured by a human or they may injure a human. Another issue is that they don't recognize their own species, so they never end up being able to find a mate and breed. They also may not know how to hunt and do other important things like migration. Pictured here is Tula, one of our education American kestrels, and she's a human imprint. Almost all human imprinted raptors wind up as education birds. Tula doesn't recognize she's a kestrel, and she doesn't play well with other kestrels. She has no natural fear of humans and will even attack a human when they come into her enclosure. If she were to be released, she might interact with humans inappropriately. She would never find a mate, and she may even struggle to find food for herself. In contrast, Beauty, the turkey vulture pictured on the previous slide, who is also a human imprint, is much kinder towards people. One of the reasons for this is because turkey vultures are a naturally social species, and they spend time with large groups of turkey vultures socially. So in Beauty's mind, she is already, preconditioned to be in a social environment, but she believes that she should be in a social environment with humans. So if she were to be released, she would seek out humans and try to be around them. She doesn't know how to fly well because oftentimes the parents are the ones that teach the babies how to fly. She doesn't know how to migrate in the winter. So if she were to be released back into the wild, she would really, really struggle and would probably end up back in captivity if she were to be found by someone who recognized that she was an imprint. So what is a bird foster parent? A bird foster parent is an adult bird that will raise babies of a bird that are not its own, usually babies of its own species. We have occasionally had examples of birds that will raise babies of a similar species. For example, a Swainson's hawk raising the babies of a red-tailed hawk. They are closely related in species, and that seemed to work. These cases are rare, but they do occur sometimes. Remember, the best parent to raise a baby bird is its own parents. The second best parent is a parent of its own species. Who makes a good foster parent? Pretty much any species of raptor could become a foster parent. We have foster parents that live together in pairs of males and females. We have single parents, single female foster parents, and single male foster parents. This may surprise you to learn that there are single male raptors that raise foster babies, but in the wild, the males play a critical role in the raising of babies by bringing mice or bringing food like mice to the nest to feed the mom and the babies. And so it is not unusual for a male bird to learn how to become a foster parent. Now, each raptor is different, and the first time we introduce a foster chick to a bird who has never fostered before, we are always very cautious. Some birds take to fostering chicks right away. Other birds really show no interest in fostering. So we just take it on a case-by-case basis. Pictured here is Waldo, a male American kestrel who fosters birds almost every year. He has a baby in with his picture right now. Our current foster parents. Now, not all of our education birds have had the opportunity to foster, maybe because we don't get a lot of chicks from that species that need fostering. But if the opportunity were to arise, we may see how they would do with raising a chick. Some of our education birds we've tried to foster with and they haven't really shown any interest, whereas other foster parents do great and they get babies almost every year because of that. In cases where we don't have parents that is the same species of a rescued orphan chick, we reach out to other facilities to place those birds with foster parents. So Harlan the red-tailed hawk first became a foster parent last year with 2 red-tailed hawk chicks. He took to taking care of them right away, doting on them and bringing them mice. He even went a few days without eating until he was sure that they were eating, and then he felt comfortable eating himself. This year we gave him an even younger chick, and this chick had to have the food torn into smaller pieces. At first, Harlan would just bring the chick whole mice, but eventually he understood what he had to do in order to feed this little baby, and so he's currently fostering that chick right now. Waldo, the kestrel that you saw in the previous picture, has been fostering for a few years. He's actually a retired education bird, whereas Harlan the red-tailed hawk is a current education bird. This year, we've already gotten in 3 baby kestrels, so Waldo will have his talons full taking care of those little guys. Pictured here is Luna the barn owl with 5 foster chicks from last year. Luna's our only bird that is only a foster parent, and he's never been an education bird. This is a really important job for him because barn owls are really common. And as you can see by this picture, we get a lot of them to foster. So even though Luna doesn't go to programs, he's still an invaluable part of our organization. Finally, we also have a pair of Swainson's hawks, Aries and Kami, who raise chicks together. They've been doing this for over a decade now, and they are very, very good at raising chicks. I want to thank you so much for watching our video this week and give credit to some of our wonderful photographers. We hope that you've enjoyed learning about bird foster parents and why they're so important in raptor rescue. Because right now is baby season and it's also field season for many of us, we are going to be scaling back to doing our videos only twice a month now instead of every week. This way we can make sure that we have enough time to be attending to all of our rescues as they seem to be more and more abundant this time of year. And of course, those of us that are out in the field monitoring nests and songbirds and owls and all of that fun stuff have a lot of things on our plate. So we will be putting another video out in just a few weeks, and we really want to thank you all for your support, and we will see you next time.